Clay just released a Reddit integration. Now you can hear what customers are saying about your product and competitors and create marketing campaigns based on real customer conversations. Here's a demo of a multi-agent system that turns 16 billion Reddit posts into 5 actionable customer insights and uses those insights to craft landing page copy. I'm going to show you how I get AI to find people comparing your product to competitors. In this case, we're going to be looking at people comparing n8n and Zapier in order to decide which one they should buy. Then we're going to find comments on those posts where people are talking about the pros and cons of both tools and what makes them different from each other and what people value about the different tools. And lastly, we're going to send those customer insights to n8n to a multi-agent system that is going to synthesize this massive amount of data into 5 actionable customer insights. Another agent is then going to create landing page copy for n8n, targeting customers of Zapier. Landing page copy will focus on what makes n8n different and superior from Zapier. Tools I'm using for this are Clay, n8n, and the Claude API. Before I jump into the demo, quick background on the problem that this solves. So B2B buying has changed. Customers no longer just go search on Google to find products to buy. They now go to LLMs and also to communities where they can find experts that they know and trust to get their personalized opinions on things like which vendors in a given category they should be putting into their consideration set, and even getting help making final decisions on which ones to actually buy after they evaluate those products. So these communities are absolutely full of rich insights and full of prospects who are making buying decisions. So as a marketer or a salesperson, you really need to be there. But if you know anything about Reddit, you know that it is drowning in, let's just say, some questionable content that would take forever to sort through, to the point where you might not even be able to do it. And you're missing out on like a ton of high intent prospects and rich customer insights. But as of today, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. There's so much noise, not a lot of signal. So that's what this workflow does, is it instantly gives you exactly what you need. So let's jump in. So as I mentioned, this is using the new native Reddit integration with Clay. The source of this first table is the Reddit mentions. And so what I did to start is I'm looking for posts that contain both n8n and Zapier, because that's more likely to be a post where people are trying to make a decision between the two or trying to get insights about what makes them different. I just chose a few subreddits for this that are pertinent to the use case here. And to start, I'm doing a time period of the past year. Now that this is up and running, I'll probably switch it back to like 1 week. So you can just get like a weekly synthesis of everything people are saying over the course of the new week and what's new each week, and just run this on a recurring basis. And I'll talk more about that later. And yeah, here's the schedule to run this weekly. So yeah, so this first table pulls in all the metadata from the post that I found. So you get the title of the post and the self-text. The title, and this is called the self-text, URL to the post, and the number of comments on the post. And then I have an AI step here using the Claude API where there's a prompt here to basically determine if the post is people asking questions about the difference between n8n and Zapier, or getting help deciding which one to buy and finding out the different use cases or customer profiles for the two different tools. And that's based on the text and self-text as the input to this prompt. So you can see here the user message for each row is every title and self-text. And then here's the prompt that I wrote to analyze it, which is pretty straightforward. And then the output of that is just a yes or no. And then if it is a comparison post, then that triggers the next step, which is to pull in, to scrape all the comments on that post. So here's all your comments. And then from there, what it does is pushes all of those comments, all the content from all those comments to the next table. This next table is analyzing the comments. Body is the comment content. And then the score is the number of upvotes. So what I did is I set it to filter out. It's only the AI step here is only processing comments with more than one upvote, because if it's only has one upvote, it's more likely to be just a low quality comment, like someone just posting an ad or, someone just not adding much value to the conversation, it's not going to contain much substance. So if it just has more than one, then there's an AI step here that determines if the comment contains customer insights. The user message for this is just the content of the comment. And again, a system prompt telling it how to determine if there's customer insights in here. If there are customer insights, another gating factor here is then this is, using conditional only run if statements at the bottom. It will synthesize the customer insights into one sentence, and it's basically acting on behalf of n8n. So giving n8n product marketers the insights they need. And here's an example of that. So in this case, an advantage is that the JSON export feature and addressing a common pain point of workflow lock-in that frustrates users of automation. So very good insight that can then be used to craft messaging for marketing campaigns. In this use case, we're doing a landing page targeting Zapier customers. All these customer insights then get pushed. If there are customer insights, if they made all these gating criteria, then they're pushed into another table. And this table is basically, the purpose there is just putting all the customer insights and pushing them out to an n8n multi-agent system. And this is just using the HTTP API enrichment in Clay to send a webhook to n8n. So the webhook receives all of the data from the Clay table, and it puts them into a Google Doc for now. Since this is the first time I'm running this, and it's like a year's worth of data, I'm just lumping it all into a Google Doc to process for now. But eventually, it'll be a Google Sheet where each week it'll process all the insights from that week, and then the agent will say, okay, I just processed those. And then the next week when it gets new stuff, it'll say, okay, these haven't been processed, so let me process all these at once. But yeah, for the sake of this demo of just processing the initial batch, just using a Google Doc. And then from here, we have this multi-agent system. For the sake of this demo, it's just triggered based on me clicking the workflow. But once this is up and running, doing the weekly batching, I would reconfigure this so the agents can basically batch process all the new insights it gains each week and process all those. But yeah, for this demo, let's test the workflow. And so what this agent is doing is this is a customer research agent. So it's hooked up to the Cloud API. It's given access to the tool, which is this Google Doc containing all the customer insights that have been synthesized. And then it's also given access to my email and with restricted access. So it's only going to be able to send me a very specific kind of email only to me. And it will contain those 5 bullet points, customer insights. The output of this customer agent will then write landing page copy based on it. So let's go check out the emails and check out the output. Cool, here we are. So we get 5 bullet points. n8n offers self-hosting capabilities. n8n target users are developers and more technically sophisticated. n8n excels at complex, high-volume workflow automation. So it's talking about use cases, ideal customer profile, differentiated features. Here, pricing model is an advantage. n8n does have a steeper learning curve and less robust customer support. So yeah, these are really valuable insights and can be used for messaging. These are things that you can double down on these advantages if you're talking to somebody who's already familiar with Zapier. If there are some misconceptions about your product, what kind of content marketing or advertising campaigns you need to run to change perceptions. But in this case, I think these are actually quite accurate from my experience and knowledge of both of these products. So I prompted this agent to draft just the hero for the sake of this demo. Of course, we could have it draft the entire landing page copy, but I just did the hero. Used my expertise of the way I write landing page copy. So it's an expert-driven prompt. It's not just having it, write whatever. It gives us some options. The automation platform that developers trust to build complex workflows. Pretty cool. Definitely hits on the differentiation. Get self-hosted flexibility, unlimited runs, and complete data privacy for mission-critical business processes. I mean, this is great. The only workflow automation platforms that runs wherever you need it. Self-hosted infrastructure, granular controls, and advanced features for data sensitive enterprise automation. So this is actually really good. We'll just go to the n8n official site. Yeah, you can see they do focus on their technical teams. They highlight on-prem control or in the cloud convenience. So the on-prem control, more freedom to implement multi-step AI agents. So yeah, actually n8n has really good homepage messaging, but that's another story. Clay is best known for its data waterfall, data enrichment tools, integrations, and using data waterfall to enrich people and companies. But it's also like a great like workflow builder for using the LLM APIs, and that's all I'm using. So I didn't use any data waterfall in this case. It's just a really powerful tool for product marketing. Most people think of Clay as a sales tool, but can be great for marketing. I'm loving n8n. Great for building AI agents. Has a bunch of cool features that are helpful for agents. And yeah, I'm really happy with how the customer research report and the actual landing page copy turned out. And yeah, as I mentioned, I would next step here would be to set this up to run on a recurring basis instead of synthesizing all the past data. There's a bunch of other use cases for this kind of workflow with Clay and Reddit and AI agents. You can see the actual language that customers are using to talk about your product. So in Clay, all those comments are available. You can push those comments to whatever tools you want. It can be helpful to craft copy based on using actual language that customers are using. So all those comments are made by actual people who are talking about your product. So you may then reach out to those people. You may want to reply to comments. You may want to look for different kinds of customer conversations. So maybe you want to look for people talking about the problem you solve. Maybe you want to look for just people talking about your general product category to either find prospects to reach out to, or comments to reply to, or just customer insights. You can get content ideas based on questions people are asking, pain points people are talking about. Find people just talking about a whole list of competitors that you have for the same kinds of use cases. I'm really excited about these capabilities, and Clay's building out other social integrations as well, so it should be awesome. By the way, I'm offering free prototypes of AI agents and workflows through the end of May. So just DM me with a problem statement, an SOP, or a metric you want to move, and I'll use LLM APIs, Clay, n8n, or Zapier to draft a solution for you. So head over to ethereal.ai to get in touch, or just shoot me a DM. Thank you.